Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about the value of your home? I'm talking like the current value, right? Compared to what it might have been before, right? Well, it's important to have an updated equity analysis, as we call it, right? A home value done by a professional, not just in this market, but really in any market cycle, frankly. I'm Realtor Bert Taddei, and I want to tell you exactly why it's important for you to want to know what the value is of your home, but more importantly, what we can offer you, right? So it's no secret that it's important to have an apples to apples comparison of what other homes have sold for, empirical data, right? That enables us to be able to find that value. Well, we call that a BPO, or broker price opinion, which is almost like a realtor appraisal, if you will, right? What you want to avoid in any market is a an internet appraisal, right? Because I don't think any savvy homeowner would want to trust the value of their home to some random internet app that kind of spits out a an estimated value of their home within 1 or 2 seconds. And by the way, speaking of estimates, how about the zestimates, which it says right there on the bottom of their page is wrong like 78% of the time. So why would you want to trust your home value to internet values, right? And by the way, you can also uh, enter your home, what is my home worth or whatever, on a Google search. And frankly, you're going to get probably about four, five, even six different values out of that same search. So why leave it to chance, and why trust it just, some algorithm that spits it out? It's a free service that I offer, absolutely no charge whatsoever. I do that for the community, frankly, right? As a resource. Invite me over to your home. I'm not going to invite myself to your house, but just reach out to me. What the usual channels, whatever is of course familiar to you, right? It's convenient. It could be a text. It could be a DM, right? A direct message to me, an old fashioned phone call. Imagine that, right? And just kind of reach out and say, look, Bert, I've wondered what my home is worth in this market, because we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown here in San Antonio. And it's important to know, of course, what your values were, what your home value is for currently. So these are the reasons why I'm explaining, the reasons why it's important. But remember, it doesn't cost you anything. Maybe about 10-15 minutes of your time. Invite me over. Be happy to give that value, free home value to you. And it's critical, now more than ever, to know what those values are. And here's some reasons why, right? First of all, it's important to be well informed on any subject, right? Well educated. You're a smart consumer, and the last thing you want is to be walking into a situation where you don't know something, especially as something as critical as your home value. And it's not just preparing for an upcoming cocktail party or something that you want to impress your friends by telling them how much you know about the real estate market. It also does, of course, give you confidence in speaking about a subject matter, from a more educated position. And so it's important to become educated. But the other thing is community involvement. That's another really big reason, right? So I come from a different era where people were a tight knit community, right? You knew your neighbors very, very well. People relied upon one another. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist anymore, maybe not to the same extent as it did in the 1970s when I was a kid. That being said, I think community involvement is super important in any community, getting to know your neighbors. But here's another reason, not just to be to speak to them on a regular basis, get to know them, and that kind of thing. But how about, and not just because you're friendly, but how about banding together for a common cause, a solidarity, if you will, right? Such as keeping home values up, right? And here's what I mean. So, what happens whenever someone decides to go ahead and sell their home, right? They're going to decide to make that move, and you're not going to be neighbors anymore, right? Let's face it. Uh, However, if you established a friendliness and a rapport for those with those neighbors, and you have a trust with them, then it's not going to be as easy for them to want to trust their home sale to a discount realtor or a discount agent or agency, whatever. Um, One that's not going to put the time and effort in. They're going to rely upon all that MLS stuff, right? Let's just do the three P's of real estate. We're going to place it in multiple listing. We're going to put a sign in the front yard. We're going to pray that some other agent comes along with one of their buyers and sells it for us. That's a commodity, folks. That's like two gas stations on the same corner within 1 penny, 2 pennies of a gallon of gas from one another. It's a commodity. You put the hose in the car and you squeeze, and the same gas comes out here as it does over here. That's a commodity realtor. It's really, you can get that from anybody, any one of the 14,000 of us that are members of the San Antonio Board of Realtors. That doesn't do anything for you. So instead, they're going to be more inclined to want to work with someone like me that employs target marketing with getting their home sold. Why? Because it's going to increase the value, right? Because let's face it, the contracted sales price for a home is nothing more than a function of supply and demand. Obviously, the more demand you can create, the better the outcome, right? In this case, the sale price of the home, the better the sale price. You want to keep those values up high. And if your neighbors, going back to what we're talking about here, if your neighbors know you, they like you, they trust you, you've established a rapport with them, they lived in that neighborhood for a reason, right? They love their neighbors. They love their neighborhood. They're probably going to be more inclined to want to protect your home value before giving away their house or trusting their home sale to some Tom, Dick, or Harry that's just going to rely upon throwing the house on the MLS instead of hiring a target marketing specialist like myself, for example, that's going to go the extra mile. We're going to spend the money. We have the marketing budget to make that home sale that much more successful. And they're probably going to be more inclined to trust someone like myself, someone who does target marketing like I do, which I guess there are a couple of us out there. And they're going to want to keep those values up, because if they dump the house, frankly, it affects everybody, right? That comparable sale, because their house was just as nice as yours or just as remodeled inside, whatever the case is, but they decided to dump it, it doesn't bode well for you or your home value, right? So they're probably going to be more encouraged to want to find a target marketing specialist who's going to want to find the most opportune buyer for that specific type of home, right? To keep those values high, right? And that's what a target marketing specialist can do. Someone who's particularly adept at finding the most opportune buyers for that specific house, right? So one who employs a robust and comprehensive marketing approach, right? Both online and offline marketing for getting that house sold for more money. Because you want to avoid all those usual price drops, right? And that's if the home sells at all, right? And with the elevated days on market, it skews everything for everyone, right? So they owe it to their bottom line to find someone that can do that type of work for them, right? And if you become good neighbors and you've established a good rapport with them, well, over the years, well, they're going to want to hire the right professional to help them get top dollar, right? And at the end of the day, that's going to keep your values that much higher, right? So we just made you money by improving your home value. So the first step is, of course, to reach out to me. Let's find a time that's convenient in both of our schedules to schedule that brief in-home updated equity analysis, as we call it, right? It's absolutely no charge, and hey, like I said, it benefits everyone. So that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm Bert Taddei. I'm realtor and broker owner of Santino Properties LLC, a boutique real estate brokerage here in San Antonio that helps buyers and sellers win in a competitive marketplace here in San Antonio with the effective and unique use of marketing. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Feel free to share it with a friend, and be sure to punch that like button and also subscribe to the channel. That way we can bring you more content just like this about the San Antonio real estate market. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Bert Taddei. Thanks for watching.